Меня зовут Жанна Филоменко.
My name is Жанна Филоменко. Где вы жили до того, как вы переехали сюда?
Я жила в Наруле. Это город, который сейчас находится в Чернобыльской зоне.
I lived in Narovla. This is only 5 kilometers away from the restricted, or as we call it, dead zone. I have 2 children. The older son is the Chernobyl invalid. He has a special paper. He has been suffering from anemia and epilepsy that he started to develop 10 years ago.
Тоже ожидает и меня, потому что я одна воспитываю 2 детей.
I think the same is awaiting me since I'm raising children by myself. My husband is a liquidator, Chernobyl liquidator. He died from a heart stroke at the age of 36 2 years ago.
До аварии у меня было 2 детей, муж, семья. Сейчас у меня ребенок болен, старший инвалид Чернобыля. У него анемия и судорожный синдром, эпилепсия сейчас. Муж умер.
Before the accident, I have 2 healthy children. They were a picture of health. 3 months later, both of them were hospitalized in Minsk because of a very huge dose of radiation in their thyroid. So he was operated on the 27th of December.
Как ты себя чувствуешь? Сейчас?
How are you feeling?
Не болит ничего?
He says he's okay.
Ну сейчас
He's a little, his heart is giving him a little bit of trouble. It's troubling him a
в
little bit.
настоящее время его состояние вполне удовлетворительное, он получает необходимые препараты, и его обмен не нарушен.
He is on the medication now, and his condition is quite satisfactory now.
Спасибо.
Thank you.
Специально мы делаем, чередуя палаты мальчики, девочки.
We alternate. Normally we alternate boys and girls wards.
Как правильно жить, как нормально жить, несмотря на серьезное заболевание.
So, children who have diabetes problems are going through some educational program, and it helps them a lot how to handle it.
Вот,
This is where they take classes, and doctors try to teach them how to handle their problems.
Я являюсь директором детского дома для детей-сирот города Минска. Доля Вера Ивановна.
My name is Doля Vera Ivановna. I'm the head of orphanage number 3 for orphans.
Добро, но один на свете.
В нашем детском доме дети с очень сложными диагнозами. Кроме того, что у них снижен интеллект, еще много побочных различных заболеваний.
There are the children who we are having at our orphanage have different physical disabilities.
Большая группа детей отказных, то есть родители, от которых отказались из-за сложных их диагнозов, то есть у них очень много пороков.
There's a large group of children, we call them abandoned children, because of their lots of their physical disabilities and different side effects. So there's another group of children from the so-called families, not only underprivileged families, but families with different problems and whose parents were deprived of their rights.
После нашего детского дома дети идут в такое же сиротское учреждение, школу-интернат.
So after they reach the age of 7, children are placed in different schools of the same kind, similar schools for mentally retarded children and schools for children with physical disabilities.
On April 26, 1986, the number 4 reactor at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant exploded, unleashing 4 tons of radioactive material over Eastern Europe and Russia. This was no ordinary catastrophe. Unlike other atrocities, this disaster did not receive immediate governmental intervention. Belarus, a tiny republic of the former Soviet Union, still struggles. An entire culture was left to deal with massive ecological, economic, medical, biological, and social consequences. Faced with these enormous difficulties, the people cannot simply rebuild and carry on with their lives. They must try to cope with an insidious enemy that no one fully understands. The most unknowing victims of this unprecedented disaster are the children. This is their story. Within days of the disaster, more than 11,000 people were evacuated to temporary shelters. They were told to leave everything behind, generations of possessions abandoned. In the chaos of transporting these so-called resettlers, many families were torn apart. Since 1986, over 58,000 residential buildings have been built for people and families displaced. They struggle to find work while living in unfamiliar and remote areas. The government has promised industry to these new villages, but a failing economy has kept the promises unfulfilled.
Special contingent of people, well, because we were exposed to very high doses of radiation, well, it is necessary for them, well, to get food that is controlled, that is clean food, but this is not done. Even the quality of the water.
One of the most difficult aspects of life after Chernobyl is the health problems due to long-term exposure to radiation. Over 600,000 children have been affected by the disaster. Their lives interrupted before they had a chance to begin.
Before the accident, I have 2 healthy children. They were a picture of health. 3 months later, both of them were hospitalized in Minsk because of a very huge dose of radiation in their thyroid. Later on, they started developing convulsion syndromes and anemia.
A substantial increase in kidney, bladder, lung, and breast cancer, along with diabetes, heart disease, hypertension, and hardening of the arteries have been reported among the children of Belarus.